Hi, my name is Walton Chung, and I believe sometimes doing the things you hate the most will eventually make it enjoyable. Have you ever had that one feeling where your parents signed you up for a summer camp or a sport that you didn't really enjoy? Whether it is cleaning your room or learning a new instrument, at a certain point you won't want to do it anymore. Whether you aren't interested, it's not fun or good, or it isn't what you like, these negative feelings can influence your view on that activity. Everybody has had those experiences where, when you see a new food or drink, judging by appearance, it doesn't look like something particularly tasty or sweet. But when you try it, you instantly realize that you are really missing out, depriving yourself of its goodness for superficial reasons. This also happens with sports. For example, say you absolutely hate basketball. You don't watch it, play it, or talk about it. However, your friends play it and they have persuaded you to join your school's basketball team. Now what would you think of basketball? It would be at least a bit more enjoyable to play with friends, right? Maybe then you realize the reason you disliked basketball was because you didn't like your first coach, or because you weren't that good just yet. But with a new coach and improved skills, you find that you love the game. In my life, I've learned that something you hate doing can become one of your favorites. When I was 5 years old, I started taking piano lessons with a buddy of mine. I didn't have a good feeling about learning the piano before I started, but learning with a friend, that sold me. Derek and I could learn something together, and we could play duet pieces and learn our music techniques together. I remember that we would take turns on the grand piano at the music school. However, fun things do come to an end. I'm not exactly sure what was up since I was only in first grade, but my mom told me that Derek couldn't take the same class as me anymore. So I was learning on my own for the first time. At first, nothing changed. Teacher Benny was helping me with learning new music quickly, and my music theory was strong. But things didn't go perfectly for long. Since I was no longer taking lessons with my friend, my teacher started pushing me a bit more since he didn't have another kid to worry about. At the time, for a beginner, I knew Teacher Benny had to start slow, since I was young, and just started learning a new instrument. But as I was growing up, he started pushing me so far that I would not meet his expectations, even though I practiced for hours a week. It was no longer fun and rewarding, and so I started losing my interest in playing the piano. I didn't pay as much attention when practicing, and Teacher Benny criticized me and said that I wasn't doing anything at home. This made me feel like I was horrible at the piano, and I just wanted to quit. I was being forced to learn 25% faster than normal, and how piano works is that there are different levels. Normally, kids go through one level a year, and take a test in the spring to move up. I was going through a level in 9 months. It was stressful. On Thursdays, since that was the day we scheduled to take piano lessons, I always looked forward to going home, since piano lessons after school was basically just me sitting in a room with an angry teacher telling me I didn't work hard enough. Eventually, in 4th grade, when I was 9, I stopped taking piano lessons for a while. I told my parents that I couldn't handle showing up to lessons every week just to be told that I didn't work hard enough, and that I should focus on school more, and that was an extracurricular activity. I thought that piano was not my thing, and I just didn't want to learn it anymore. But since we had a piano in our house and pianos are expensive, my mom wouldn't let me quit forever. My next door neighbor Alex also took piano, and his dad recommended that we should take lessons with his teacher. My mom decided that it was time to switch teachers, since I hadn't enjoyed learning with Benny. The day I went to my first lesson, I was expecting an office building with different rooms and many people in a waiting area. Instead, we arrived at a house, and this is a pretty old-looking house. My mom and I were welcomed in, and we went to our living room where there were 3 pianos. One was a digital, one was a grand, and one was a normal upright. She introduced herself as Mrs. Maji. I played a few pieces that I knew so she could determine my level, and from there on, I ended my break from the piano and started playing again. This time we worked at a proper pace, and I didn't feel pushed at all. In fact, sometimes I'd feel a little bit behind, and all it took was a little bit more effort the next week to bring it back. I found that playing the piano was becoming more enjoyable, and it was fun again, like when I first started. It no longer felt like a chore, but more like a hobby. In the book of the Corinthians, Paul says, "In a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize." You know that, don't you? So run in a way that will get you the prize. All who take part in the games train hard. They do it to get the crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever. So I do not run like someone who doesn't run towards the finish line. I do not fight like a boxer who hits nothing but air. No, I train my body and bring it under control. Then after I have preached to others, I myself will not break the rules. If I did break them, I would fail to win the prize. This means that life is a race or a journey. Sometimes you won't like the race and you will want to quit. But if you continue the race and put all your effort and energy in, you just might win it. Sometimes, no matter how much you hate something, if you spend time with it and put more effort into it, you will start to see yourself enjoying it. I used to think that I was bad at the piano and that I didn't like it, but I didn't quit and continued practicing. Now I enjoy music and I like being able to play a musical instrument. This belief changed the way I perceive things. Sometimes it's a new food I try. Sometimes it's a game we play, or sometimes it's how we learn. But what if, for example, you hated basketball, but your PE teacher put basketball as your activity for the day? It might seem like it's doing homework, something you might not particularly enjoy playing or participating in. I'm telling you, if you still participated and gave it your all, no matter how bad at basketball you could be, you might find yourself enjoying it.